Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today my guest is my wonderful wife. Please tell us something about yourself.
I'm Evelyn. I'm from Philippines.
How long have you been living in Japan?
I live in Japan for 21 years.
Mm-hmm.
I first live in Nagano
Okay.
for a few months, and then I moved to Shizuoka-Ken. I lived there for 7 years. I guess we moved here in Numazu, Shizuoka-Ken, 2007 of April.
Mm-hmm.
So until now, I'm still here in Shizuoka.
So tell us something about your experience of living here in Japan or in Shizuoka. How has it been?
First time I arrived in Japan was very struggling because of the language. We don't know how to speak Japanese, so we have to do is the sign language.
All right. So that was very challenging for you.
That's very challenging.
Getting used to.
I think I can tell you my experience about buying something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we went to a convenience store and I tried to buy vinegar. So we don't know what is the Japanese term for vinegar, so I need to show my face like when you taste the vinegar, it's very sour, so you have to make an ugly face like
Uh-huh.
like that.
Something like sour.
Something
So
like that. So then they understood.
That you wanted to buy vinegar.
Yes.
All right. So how long did it take you for to get used to the culture, the language, and basically how long did it take you to settle down in Japan?
I think maybe after 5 years or so.
It took you about 5 years to get used to living in Japan,
Yeah,
learning the language.
Learning the language and the culture, I guess.
Getting used to the culture of Japan.
Yeah.
How did you learn the language?
I learned the language from my workmates.
Okay, so just talking with them, and
Yes.
you didn't go to any school or anything?
No, I haven't.
All right, okay. Do you plan on staying here for good?
Well, at first, not really.
Okay.
But I guess we have our own house, so maybe. It depends on how life goes.
Okay. So what according to you, you said that you've lived in Nagano and then you lived in Kanagawa and now you're living in Shizuoka. So what according to you are the merits or are the benefits of living in Shizuoka as compared to the other places?
I guess there's no difference really.
Uh-huh.
But the only best benefit that I get is we have our own house.
Okay. So
Because
maybe like the cost of living it's cheaper here?
in my experience,
Mm-hmm.
the cost of living is quite the same. It's no difference at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
but thing is, I feel more comfortable here in Shizuoka. In Numazu, Shizuoka-Ken.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm used to this place.
Okay.
So it's more like a quiet place, not so crowded.
Uh-huh.
And people are friendly. Like most of my workers are friends of mine.
All right. Okay. So you have a lot of friends here now in Numazu, Shizuoka, so that's why you feel that Shizuoka is more
Comfortable.
It's more comfortable for you to live in.
Yes.
Okay. So what's your favorite Japanese food?
Let's say I'll prefer for the tantanmen, the ramen.
Okay, you like the ramens? Me
Yes.
too. I like the ramens as well. Okay, and what's your favorite Japanese restaurant?
My favorite Japanese restaurant is the crab restaurant, the
Ah, the
Honten.
Honten.
Yes.
That is good. Yeah, they are really, really good.
It's a little bit pricey, but the food was great.
It's little.
I like the crabs.
Yeah, it's very delicious. I agree. But I also like the ramen restaurant that we go to.
Yeah,
Right there.
right there.
That's really good. Their akamiso ramen
Yes.
is the one that we always have, right?
We went to other ramen shops, but we prefer this Rai ramen shop.
That's the best, according to us. That's our opinion.
Yes.
What's been the best street food that you've had? Japanese street food.
Street food.
Mm-hmm.
Like during Matsuri only, they have street food.
Okay, the barbecues.
Barbecue and I like the squid, the grilled squid.
The grilled squid.
Yes.
Okay, that is very delicious.
Yes.
Right.
And the barbecue.
Yeah, I like their barbecues. The barbecues are very, very good.
Yes.
Okay, all right. Where have you traveled in Shizuoka, and what's your favorite place so far?
I'd been to Mount Fuji,
Okay.
but sad to say that I did not reach on the top, the main part of Mount Fuji, but we reached up to 9th station, which is very struggling for me because I feel dizzy and I always throw up.
Because you worked the previous
Yes.
night. She works nights, so she worked the previous night, and then the next morning, I mean, you hardly slept for what, 2 hours?
Yes.
And then we left to conquer Mount Fuji in the morning.
No,
We reached there. We left like what?
6 in the evening. We start climbing 6 in
No,
the
I mean you woke up
yeah.
earlier, and then by the time we reached there, it was like almost 6 in the evening, and then we started climbing, and then I think by 1 in the morning was when you really took bad, and then
the
we
9th
found
station.
at the 9th station
We found
a cottage
accommodation.
and an accommodation, and that's where we gave up.
Yes, I gave up.
Yeah, but then that was a good experience, though, right?
Yes,
All
and
right.
then we went to Mount Omoro, which is
Which is in
Izu,
Izu Peninsula.
Izu Peninsula.
Ito.
and
Yeah,
it's
that's
very,
also a very beautiful
yeah.
place, right?
very beautiful. And we went to Nagaoka. We went to that flower. I think what was that flower garden? I forgot the name.
Yeah,
Where the
in-
lampshades.
Yeah, I think it's all in that
Yes,
Izu Ito area.
yes.
So you have like Mount Omuro, and you have all these places. Actually, I have a video on that on Ito, the city or the town of Ito, where we can travel in these beautiful places. So please check that out. Okay, where would you like to travel in Shizuoka? Where else would you like to travel, where you haven't been and you want to go?
I guess I want to climb up Mount Fuji, conquer the Mount Fuji.
You want to conquer Mount Fuji, right?
Yes.
Right to the top.
Right to the top.
All right. When you travel to these places, how do you travel?
We travel by car. We travel, and it's very convenient. If you if you travel by car, because you can stop, every place you want to stop, you can see different views and see the nice scene around Shizuoka.
Right.
Yes.
So having your own transportation is definitely much more convenient, much more easier to get around. The roads are very good, and it's much more easier traveling
Yes.
by your own transportation. Do you face any challenges while traveling?
I think so, because there are some signs on the road that is only in Japanese.
Okay.
I guess for if you cannot read like kanji, you have to check the maps before you travel, so that you will know where to exit. Sometimes this expressway, like the Tomei and the Shintomei. The Shintomei, the difference is the Shintomei is you can only use your ETC card. That's only for ETC card. So you cannot get off, you cannot get in if you don't have an ETC card. But if you use the Tomei, you can use without the ETC card, you can get off and you can get in. So I think that's the only trouble when using the expressway.
So you said like the boards, the signage are mostly in Japanese, but I think now they've made a lot of changes. You can see quite a lot of English also,
Yeah,
like especially where the exits are, right?
Yes.
So there have been some changes as compared to before.
Yeah, I mean like this Shintomei, they only have like ETC, but it's all in kanji. They should also have like ETC only, or
All right. Okay, so to show which sort of lane, like an ETC lane or a cash lane or an ETC exit only.
yes,
Is that what
an
you mean?
entrance, yeah, ETC
Okay, so
entrance
that
only.
should have some sort of English, is what you're
Yes,
saying.
because we had an experience like that before, because Shintomei and the Tomei are together. So we tried to use the Shintomei because we want to experience what is Shintomei. So we went through Shintomei and we exit like, because our exit is Numazu or Surugawan or Astaka. So we tried Astaka. So when we get off Astaka, so they don't allow us to get off because we don't have an ETC that time. So we have to go towards Fuji to exit.
All right. So better, a little more English is what you're saying.
Yes,
right?
I guess like only for ETC.
All right.
And exit only for ETC. It should be, I think that's for us foreigners, but for Japanese, well, there's no problem. I mean,
Okay. Where do you get your information concerning daily life? Like, for example, if there are any matsuris or any sort of events, how do you get to know about them?
well, usually they have the community announcement, so everybody, the whole community can hear, like information about emergency. But like for the newcomers, like us foreigners, for the newcomers, you cannot understand what they're saying because it's all in Japanese.
All right.
But you have to be alert, like what's the announcement is about. Sometimes they'll announce about people, I mean person is missing, person is found, about matsuri. But sometimes you can see on the street they have boards or sign like matsuri on this day and from this day to this day. And before I used to my transport is train, so you can see it on the train stations, like they have
like posters and
posters, yeah.
so it's that's how we get to know whether
Yeah.
there are any fireworks festivals during the
yes.
summer or any other festivals. So that's a good place, a train station where you can see these posters.
But mostly the thing is a constant month, date, like
Yeah, they usually happen during the same time, every year.
every year.
So you got to be aware of that. But yeah, maybe the announcements, they're all in Japanese. So unless you know Japanese, it can be quite tough to sort of figure out what they're saying, right? So
Yes.
yeah, that could be a little challenging.
Yes, very.
Right.
And
Alright.
sometimes you think it's something happened, but it's a drill because they have like, you have to run away, but you have to understand what they say, and if you hear the alarm, it's very challenging
All right.
for me. Sometimes I heard like tsunami alert, like what was that about? Because we used to stay in, which is closer to the seaside. So if they say about tsunami, I have to be like, be alerted what's going on. So I have to check my neighbor if they're running out from the house, so I can run also.
But now, comparatively, I mean, now your Japanese is very good.
Not
Right.
really.
But I mean, compared to before.
Yes.
So now at least you know quite a bit what's happening around you, So yeah, again, knowing the language here in Japan is a real big plus for foreigners.
Yes.
And
I think before you, if you are planning to come to Japan, at least you will know what's the common language, that like good morning, where you live.
also you have like basic Japanese.
Basic
It's good to
Japanese.
know basic
Yeah,
sort of
the
Japanese,
basic
right?
Japanese. Yeah.
In what ways do you associate with the local Japanese people? Like, for example, do you participate in any local activities or festivals?
Before, I think this time that we have, our beautiful house, we always participate community, like the meetings, and we sometimes participate cleaning around the community. And one time, I think there was how many years back, we went to that winter program they have, that you sang also.
Oh yeah, that was like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I think they have it every year, but we were unable to make it the last year because of
Yes.
the corona situation. I don't think they had it. They cancelled it because of corona.
Yes, I think
And
so.
the year before that, we were a bit busy. But yeah, that is a good way to sort of integrate with the people, the community activities that they have, and that was fun. Yeah, I sang 2-3 songs, karaoke songs, so that was quite interesting as well. They had good games, food was good, and interacting with the people, that was
Yes,
interesting.
because like if you have your own house, you have like this number, like community numbers, like in this area, like you are in one group and then the other one next group, and then when you come together, you'll be sitting beside each other, so it's good.
So you get to know the people in your community.
Yes.
Right? What has been your favorite matsuri or festival that you like here in Japan?
The fire festival.
The fireworks festival
Firework.
that happens in the summer, right? Yeah, that's my
Yes.
favorite too. Which is your favorite? You've been to quite a few, right? You've
I
been
think
to
my best one is the Atami, I guess.
mine too. The
No, Masu is great, but I don't know. I like the Atami.
Atami is at quite a bigger scale.
Yes.
No? The fireworks are really beautiful in Atami. So yes, that would be my favorite too. Are there any local festivals or activities that you would want to participate in the future that probably you haven't been to and you want to participate in?
I think I want street dancing.
You want to do street dancing?
Yes.
Wow. Okay.
With that costume.
Wearing the
I
costumes.
really, yeah. I really,
Yeah, that's really beautiful actually.
Yes.
That will be a good idea. Maybe I think when this corona situation sort of settles down, we can find a way how to at least the Numazu festival, no? Probably we can
Yes.
find a way to participate in that. That'll be really nice. Can you can you do their dance though?
Of course.
All right. Okay, that's interesting. What kind of social interchanges do you want to perform? Like, for example, would you like to sort of talk about your country? Would you like to do something which showcases about your country to the community here in Japan or in your locality? Is there something that you would like to do?
I think I would like to do is represent my country, Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess the culture, I mean the folk dances in the Philippines.
Okay, you want to showcase your folk dance
Yes.
from the Philippines.
Yes.
That'll
from
be
the
interesting.
Philippines.
Okay.
Because our folk dance is quite interesting though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bamboo dance.
The bamboo dance.
Yes.
All right.
Someday, hopefully.
Okay. How do you get the administrative service information from the city? Like, for example, your taxes, information regarding your taxes, your pension,
Oh,
health insurance.
about that, mostly our company will do that
Okay.
thing. But if you, like, for example, you don't pay your taxes or you don't pay your insurance, they'll send a notice to your apartment or house
Mm-hmm.
by mail,
Mm-hmm.
and then you will know that you have not fully paid your taxes. So you must be aware of the notices that will come to you.
So, is it very easy for you to read those notices?
For example, like the mostly is kanji. I mean, all in kanji.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to ask my workmates or my Japanese friend to read it for me. So I would know what's the bills or the paper had come.
Oh, that's interesting. So you ask your workmates, your Japanese workmates.
And sometimes nowadays you have the cell phone translator.
Smartphone, right?
Smartphone.
Google Translate.
Yes. So
using Google
sometimes, because I don't want them to be, like burden. So
Yeah, because they are also busy
Yeah.
most of the time.
yes.
But then it's good to be in touch with the local people where you can sort of get some help. But then again, it's good to know a little bit of Japanese as well. So it helps, right?
Yes.
Because I think, would there be any suggestions as far as these notices are concerned? Would you like to have some English on it?
Yes, especially the property tax.
Income tax?
Income tax, yes.
All right. Okay.
Because it looks the same, but they should have an English, like maybe at least at the envelope that they're sending.
What kind of tax or what kind of bill
Yes,
it is, like
like
whether it's property tax,
tax,
income
income
tax, or
tax.
pension or health insurance,
Yes.
written a little bit in English, right?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. Do you have any concerns about potential emergencies or disaster scenarios? Like, for example, like before we were living very close to the ocean. We're not very far away though, but we're still quite near. Japan has a lot of earthquakes, right? So in case of an emergency, do you know what you have to do? Do you have any concerns?
Well, I was working for how many years already, but I never had, because sometimes they have a community like drill,
Mm-hmm.
but I never joined that one.
Okay.
So
So they do have regular community drills, but we don't know about them,
yes.
right? Okay, so probably a better way to communicate to foreign people about these drills?
I think so. But they have this sign like evacuation places, where to evacuate. You have to run this side, you have to run that side, so you better...
So that is good, right?
Yes, but not all the places that they have that sign, but mostly.
I guess places that are more vulnerable would have the signage. Like for example, our old house,
Yes.
it was closer, so you see a lot more of those signs there.
Yes.
Now we are a little further away from the ocean, so maybe the danger is not that much,
Yes.
right? Okay. Do you face any challenges while visiting hospitals or seeking medical treatment?
I guess for me that is very challenging.
Okay. What sort of challenge do you face?
Like for example, like holidays, Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
and like if you want to go to the hospital during holidays, you cannot go to the. You need to call the emergency. I mean, you need to call an ambulance, because if you go to the city hospital, they're closed, and
Right.
they have like designated day for like Thursday, like MWF. This hospital is open, and these different days this hospital is open. So you have to be aware of which hospital is open,
On which
because
day?
I think we experienced that one before.
Yes, we did. Mhm.
They're like, it was my, I think I'm the one who got sick, and we have to look around for the hospital
Yes, I remember
for the
that.
whole
Yes.
day.
Yeah, I think it was.
And we come home, we didn't find any hospital, so I asked my workmate about it. So they said that they're closed during that day, so you better go that hospital, because that's the only hospital that is open on that day. So I guess that is very challenging.
Probably a way to in which foreigners can be informed about these hospitals,
Go
right?
to the
On what day, which
yes.
hospital.
I think it's
more
better to go to
communication.
the city office and
And that's the thing. When you go to the city office, what sort of challenge do you face there? Is it very convenient for you to?
yes, they are very helpful. Like
Alright.
very helpful. It's very different from our country. I guess.
Yes, but but then again, you know quite a bit of Japanese. You speak pretty good Japanese, right? So that's why.
But
it
they
seems
have
convenient.
translator.
They have a
in-
translator. there.
Yes, they have
Alright.
English translator. Like
Okay.
they have Portuguese, English, and I think they have Chinese. But they're not there all the time. You have to check the day that is what day is available for the language, like English, Filipino. I think they have Filipino, but English, as far as I know, they have English, Chinese, Portuguese, and I think Korean also.
That is amazing. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you just have to go and ask and
Yes.
find out, no? Yeah, but yeah, I agree that the work in most of the government agencies, it's so amazing, right?
Yes.
You know, so fast
So
and so
fast.
sincere, right?
Yes.
As compared to our
Their
countries, which is true.
customers first. I mean,
Exactly, their customer service is really amazing here
Yes.
in Shizuoka. Okay, finally, what's the best piece of advice would you like to give somebody who would want to visit Japan as a tourist, or also someone who would like to live in Japan, or Shizuoka for that matter? What would be your best piece of advice?
my best piece of advice is first check which part of Japan do you want to stay, and best number one is the language. You have to learn at least basic language. I mean basic Japanese,
Okay.
so that it will be easier for you to a little bit move like faster than, like where you want to go, how much is the fare, how much will cost you to go that place. But best is the Japanese language.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, wife, for this wonderful interview, and I hope all of you enjoyed this interview as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. Today my guest is my wonderful wife.